Hi, this is Shui with a review of another Pro Specs shoe. It's a Korean brand, Korean company, but unfortunately it's not made in Korea. They clearly stated in the label that they have a factory in China. Basically, it's outsourced, but it's a nice sleek design. One thing you will notice is that the midsole, what is it made of? I've gave high praise to the X40, X41, not the X40 version. The X41 was a unique blend of um, it was Boost like, but not Boost. It was better than Boost. But after that, it was it was just lucky coincidence. The company is never going to be able to repeat or reprise that accomplishment. I've contacted them, and they're completely oblivious nincompoops as to what they have in their hands, and they have no idea what they can do with it. None of the departments are clearly connected with each other. They just pass the number around and forward you to another department, and they don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know what model they have. They're basically pencil pushers, and I guess the outsourced company do all the work. The upper material is a little bit better than what we've seen in the past, like the X42s or the ProFlick model. This is the ProFlick 411, by the way. ProFlick 4, I guess you could call it. The ProFlick had a boost-like substance, but now they have a very solid rubber-like outsole and a midsole that seems to be a whole one-piece chunk, which is why it's heavy as hell. This shoe weighs about 400 grams for a size 9, but it feels like it weighs about 600 grams because of the dead weight the rubber compound it provides here. It's got a nice heel cushioning and basically minimal or zero cushioning on the forefoot. As you can tell, this is pretty much what you get. The outsole is the midsole. It feels like they may have used something a little bit more substantial in the heel. The heel has decent cushioning, very noticeable heel to toe drop, but again, basically zero cushioning on the forefoot, some cushioning on the heel, but it's not exactly bouncy. It's not something that provides energy return. It feels like it's sinking in, pretty much like what a primitive polyurethane chunky midsole would do. So this is kind of, maybe they paid homage or copied the Under Armour Flow technology. They are definitely softer than the Curry 8s. I've not tried the Flow running shoes, so I can't really comment on that, but certainly it's I have to compliment the company for trying this technology for the first time and carrying it out more successfully than the Currys. Curry 8 is just rigid as SHAT, and this is actually a lot more comfortable. But still, it's a lot heavier, way heavier than the Curry 8s. The upper material is a nice triple quadruple stitch knit. It actually is more rigid. It provides a little bit more resistance and better lockdown. It's not flimsy or stretchy like what they've had in the previous materials. And they are getting in tune with the trend of having this elf nose tip where you can slide your foot in smoothly without having to like pull it or accidentally stepping into your heel cup. There's a minimal heel clutching piece here, not too invasive. It's not going to provide you with any scraping, friction inducing points or parts or sharp edges here. Overall, the padding is minimal and nice. The outsole pattern is pretty blend. It's kind of what you would get for caterpillars or any kind of shoe that you wear in the construction site or whatnot. The rubber is very tacky, so it's good for forward motion, but definitely don't expect grip on the side to side motion. I guess this is somewhat of a casual walking shoe, but judging by how heavy it is, not exactly a deal maker for me. I wouldn't really want this. It's got an insole that is very lightweight and minimal. It's the EVA insole. I wish they would have given something they've had for the previous ProFlick models where they have a PU chunky, soft insole. This one, they just gave the minimal insole that only goes nicely with something with an awesome midsole they've had in the X40s, the past Pro Specs models. So definitely, design-wise, I think it's an improvement. The attempt to try and copy what they are doing with Under Armour, okay, but if you don't successfully pull it off, and if it smells so bad out of the box, it still smells so bad. I remember when I was a kid, when I was making those plastic model kits where it requires plastic cement or bond or glue, And if you're stuck in a room for too long and you feel like you're gonna, have an out-of-body experience, this is the kind of stench the shoe has. The price point is not that low either. I mean, it's about $70. The biggest downside is the cushioning is taking a huge step backwards in terms of what they've had with the X40s and the ProFlix, and it's heavy, and it feels heavier than what the digits show.